So guys, the suggestions passed to the developers of September 2024 just got released, and there are 3 things that I think are needed to be added right now in the game, like next patch, that we're gonna talk about. 3 amazing additions that will just need to be added. And if you like this type of video, I might do one of these every single month when the suggestions passed to the developers appears, right? I will normally focus on mechanics and stuff like that, but of course vehicles are cool as well. But there are controversial ones. I mean, glide bombs for Germany should be added right now. There are other things that should be added, but mechanics are normally more important, okay? So let's get going. So the first one is a simple buddy lazing mechanic made by Mac Oatmeal. I think that's how you pronounce it. But basically here what he's saying is, of course, something that needs to be added, and, you know, I mean, I don't know how we don't have this type of thing in game yet, but basically he explains he tries to solve the problem of having a buddy lazing system in the game. So what buddy lazing is basically somebody else is lazing a target for your laser guided bomb, okay, or missile. So it's a different type of mechanic for vehicles that don't have, for example, a TV pod or something to designate a laser target and still be able to fire laser bomb or release laser bomb, guided bombs and missiles and stuff, while also having kind of a better understanding on how and being more effective basically on how you deploy these weapons. Basically, if you don't have you know, a laser, you can use it, but if you do have a laser, maybe a buddy lazing can help you find a target and release on that target first, and being just a quicker way of, you know, having a missile or a bomb into that target, right? A faster way, right? The way that he actually tries to do this is basically having the suggestion itself, right? It's having a color system, because in real life we have codes, you know, so the target, the vehicle that it's gonna drop the bomb and the vehicle that it's lazing will have the same code, which is basically a frequency then for the laser or something like that, that would make it only be guided, you know, that weapon only be guided by that laser and not all the other lasers be, you know, in the battlefield. The way that he solves these problems without having to have a code every single time you're going to use the bomb and laser designator or anything like that, you could have a color scheme. So you would see the actual, you know, laser from another person, but with a different color, and then you could choose that color to actually designate the target. So the way that he explains here is, for example, I have a GBU 24 over here in the purple, and then I can like cycle the colors of it being basically the codes, right, until it's green, so that I can hit this target, for example, that somebody's lazing. Or if I want to laze myself, I'm going to use a certain color. So if he changes it up, I mean, maybe there's a red one over here, do I change to the red one, it will go to another target there, etc, right? So it's basically like that. I think it would look kind of funny, but it is a very viable solution. Another solution is just have channels, right? So I mean, you could have just a designator where a target is, and then when you are looking for, it's, you know, CH1, for example, and then you have channels of the laser guided bombs. You put in channel 1 and you will know that it will guide to that target, you know. So it's a way for you to do buddy lazing, especially if you have like a teammate or a squad mate or something that can use maybe an UAV, maybe a light tank to actually be able to do this, etc, etc. I mean, something that can be done very easily, to be honest, and I don't understand why we don't have this. It would increase the number of vehicles that would use laser guided bombs and stuff, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending if you like to bomb stuff on ground battles or not. I know a lot of people hate it, but still, it's a mechanic that I think should be added because it's realistic. Of course, he also gives us a kind of a PS over here, a kill assist for the player that, you know, a laser assists basically, right? You laze and then somebody else destroys the target, you get an assist for lazing or something like that. So we'll leave the links in the description. You can go right there and vote. For me is for some reason I can't vote, like, it doesn't matter because it's already like passed to the developers. Yeah, probably because of that, but still I will leave it in the description. Okay, the next one is one that I think is just, it's been just far too long for us to just say that it is not like, oh, okay, it's okay, this. I don't think it's okay. So this is a suggestion made by Captain Razor over here. Ground vehicles, crew member, physics, and more animations. Basically, it's going through how Gaijin needs to add more animations for open turret like vehicles, more realism to the way that they step to the sides over here, how they stand and everything with that. And of course, even on the reload itself, I mean, how can we not have an animation of people reloading? It's not that difficult. It is 2024. I'm not I'm not a coder, right? But still, I know that we are in a time and age that something like this in a game like War Thunder is not that difficult to do. So even though it might be bugged at first and stuff, and correcting will be needed, it's not that many vehicles, and of course it takes a little bit of time, but it is worth to actually doing it. It makes it worth to actually see this type of vehicle, and you know, it's just a overall improvement that we need happening. So thank you, Razor, for actually doing this and this suggestion. And yeah, we just need more realistic movements of the crew members, right? Then we have the last one, which is a very interesting one. I already talked about this kind of in other videos a while back, but basically new types of bases for air battles. This is one made by the Marco Polo, which is great. I mean, there are some interesting, like some changes that would be for older BR, like lower BRs and stuff, and some for higher, but still it is pretty interesting. So instead of just having the normal bases, he suggests that we have multiple types of bases, and he gives, I mean, maybe not a base itself, but basically an objective, a different type of objective. And of course, with that, we can have the same reward as a base, but doing different things, which would be cool. We can even include some others at the end of the suggestion over here. So one of them, bridge targets. I mean, you have to destroy a bridge. It's you know, like defended by SPAA. He even says maybe a convoy is going, you know, past this. We had this in some maps, but they basically removed it a while back, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And even then, it's not a big deal if you do this. So there's no reason why to do it, you know. So if it gives you like an enormous amount of RP or something like that, like a base, it would make sense for you to spend a bomb in this base, right? So something like that would make sense. Train targets, of course, could be added with AA systems and armored trains and stuff like that. That would be cool. We have trains in the game, but they're barely even used, and it would be cool, even like especially in lower BRs. Like in the map, it would be basically this train route, you know, so you have to destroy the train. You get this. The objective here is to have other objectives for you to do with different types of missions and the same amount of RP of a base. So people that do like to bomb and stuff do different type of things, right? Another option here would be a SAM systems, you know, and a guided bomb specific target. So it would be harder to get closer, so you need to use a guided bomb or missile to actually be able to hit a specific target that needs to be very precise, right? I don't know how you're gonna do that, but like a bunker busting or something like that would be cool. VIP, like it's in there and you need to destroy the place. I don't know, but basically a precision guided bombing target surrounded by very heavy AA systems would be cool. Ship bombing targets as well, you know, with different types of targets. I mean, this could be, I mean, he says a battleship over here, but even a carrier or something like that in the highest ranks with missiles and stuff, you know, anti-ship missiles, etc. You know, so it needs to happen. These types of objectives need to be added so that we can, I mean, the right path was crossed in the Israeli map that we have, but it's not like we need more and even more stuff. Doing seed, destroying like an enormous amount of raiders and AA systems with seed missiles or anything like that, that can give you some points and stuff. So not just killing a target and giving you points for destroying a specific target, but like it's, if it was a base, you know, the amount of RP that you get from a base in a PvE environment of you destroying something that is not a player, but with different targets. Very, very cool. I will leave the 3 of them in the description. But yeah, guys, this is the idea of the video, trying to shout out some of the stuff that was passed to the devs that really need to be added at some point and in some form. Maybe obviously with some changes, but at least the general idea of that, okay? So if you like this video, click the like button, make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, see you.